Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children. In the previous class I taught you what is call in advance. Okay, when the shareholder pays the money before the shares are being called for. Okay, when they pay in advance it is called as call in advance. Fine. So in this class you are going to see what is call in arrears. Call in arrears. So what is call in arrears? When the shareholder fails to pay the money that he is called for. When he fails to pay the money he is called for, then it is called as call in arrears, yet to be paid. So when the called up shares are not paid, that is called as call in arrears. Fine. So, see for example, the face value of the share is 10 rupees. You are going to get 3 on application, 2 on allotment, and then again 2 on first and final call, first call, and then 3 on the final call. So an application, an allotment, on the first call and in the final call. Okay, the company is asking for the allotment money, the company is asking for the first call, and if the shareholder fails to pay this 2 rupees on allotment, it is called as call in arrears. Now how you can account for it? Either by opening a arrear account, either by opening a call in arrear account or by not opening. So by not opening or by opening. So both the ways you can record call in arrears. Fine. Now according to table F of Indian Companies Act of 2013, okay, you can collect an interest not exceeding 10% provided it is authorized in the Articles of Association. So if you do not pay the call amount when the company is asking you to pay, then the company can take interest for the amount that you have not paid the company. So let us see what is the journal entry you have to pass. Okay. Now this is illustration number 7. Fine, illustration 7. Now what is the journal entry you are going to pass? First I will write the journal entry. In the same journal entry I will teach the problem. Illustration 7. Okay. Now when your first call or final call is due, what is the journal entry you pass? Share first call account data. First call and final account. Final call account data to share capital. So amount due on shares first and final call. Okay. Now when the amount is deposited in the bank, what is the journal entry? Bank account data to shares first and final call. Now if your amount is deposited, that is your call amount is deposited, call amount deposited or call amount received. So bank account data, call in arrears. The amount is supposed to come but it has not been received. So that is call in arrears. So this is the journal entry you are supposed to pass. If the shareholder has paid the call, he has failed to pay the call that the company has made. Now let us go to illustration 7. I'll just read the problem for you and then we'll do the problem. Fine. Now see, Giant Traders, we'll write whatever is required for the problem so that you can easily do the problem. See, he is going to issue 15,000 ordinary shares. What is another name for ordinary shares? Ordinary shares are always called, another name for ordinary shares is equity shares. Okay, you have two types of shares, preference shares and equity shares. So ordinary shares are in other words called as equity shares. So he is going to issue 15,000 shares, ordinary shares of rupees 10 each. 3 on application, he is going to collect 5 on allotment and 2 on first and final call. This is your face value. 10 rupees is the face value. 3 you are going to collect on application, 2 you are going to collect on allotment and 2 on your call. Fine. All the money were duly received except one shareholder who failed to pay 100 shares. Okay, he failed to pay 100 shares and now pass the journal entries for call alone. Use call in arrears account. We are going to use call in arrears account. Okay. So he failed to pay how many shares? For 100 shares he failed to pay. Okay. Now let us pass the journal entry. I just will be rubbing a little here. So 2 on call. Okay. So debit and then credit. So debit and credit. Rupees and then rupees. Okay. So first call, how much you're going to receive? Actually 15,000 is the total issue, and how much you'll be collecting on call? 2 rupees. So 15,000 into 2 is how much? 30,000. So 30,000 amount is due. Fine. And then how much is going into the bank? Somebody has failed to pay how much? 100 shares into rupees 2. That is 200 rupees short you have got. So the entire 30,000 is not going into the bank. So 30,000 minus 200. So that comes to 29,800. Right. So only 29,800 is going. The balance you're going to transfer into call in arrear. That is 29,800 is going into your bank. 200 is your call in arrear. Actually 30,000 is supposed to go. So what is this method? When you're opening your call in arrear, okay, when you're opening call in arrear, this is the way you're going to pass the journal entry. In case you're not opening the call in arrear account, how are you supposed to pass the entry? It's very easy. Only this entry alone you have to change. Okay, directly you can pass bank account data. Okay, bank account data, debit, credit, rupees, bank account data to shares, first and final call. What is the amount? Directly you can pass 29,800 without opening the call in arrear account. So that is the first method as the problem wanted. This is the second method. It is not there in your reader. You can always note and keep. Okay, this is the second method without opening. Okay, without opening your call in arrear. Call in arrear account. Fine. So that's it with illustration 7. Next you are going to exercise 7. Fine. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha children, now we are going to exercise 7. Alright, we are in call in arrears. Call in arrears. I told you the accounting method, either you can open a call in arrear account and record it, or without opening an account you can record it. Fine. Now let us go to exercise 7. I'll read out the problem for you. Muthu Limited issued 50,000 shares. So Muthu, alright, Muthu, he issued 50,000 shares of rupees 10 each. Okay, of rupees 10 each. This is the face value. Okay, this is the face value issued at par. So 2 on application. Okay, 4 on allotment and 4 on first and final call. So total comes to 10 rupees. Now what has happened here? All money were duly received except one shareholder who failed to pay 1,000 shares, okay, for the call money. Only call money he failed to pay 1,000 shares. Pass the necessary journal entry for calls by using call in arrears. So he's asked you to record call in arrears. He wants you to open call in arrear account and record. But I'll teach you both the methods. Fine. So what's the journal entry you have to pass? When your first call is due, share first call account data, first and final call here, isn't it? So first and final call data to share capital. So you can add the word equity because it's ordinary shares always, right? To equity share capital account. Okay, being shares first and final call due. Debit, credit, rupees. Fine. How much is the amount? Now actually how much is due? 50,000 shares into call. You have to record only this. They have only asked you to record this, and they have not asked you to pass 2 rupees on application, 4 on allotment. Everything they have received. Only this first and final call, 1,000 shares. Shareholder holding 1,000 shares, he has failed to pay the amount. Fine. So 50,000 into 4. Fine. So 5 4s are 20. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 lakhs. Actually, 2 lakhs is due. Right. Now, how much is going into the bank? Bank account data. Call in arrear. Account data. to equity shares first and final call. Okay, being call amount or money received. Okay, so how much is going in? So 1000 into 4, that is how much? 4000. Actually 2 lakhs is supposed to go, but 4000 less you have deposited. So what is this? 2 lakhs minus 4. So 1 lakh 96,000. One shareholder, he has not paid the call amount of rupees 1000. So 1000 into 4 is 4000. So call in arrear is how much? 4000. Actually how much should go? 1 lakh 96,000 should go. Has gone to the bank. Actually 2 lakhs should go. Fine. So this is when you are recording call in arrears. In case you are not recording call in arrears, I will teach you second method also. In your second method, you can just directly pass the journal entry, bank account data to equity shares first and final call. Okay, being call amount received, being call amount received. How much is that? You're going to directly receive 1,96,000. That is 2 lakhs minus 4,000. 1,96,000. Fine. So we have completed exercise and illustration number 7. I taught you what is call in advance, what is call in arrears. When you receive the money in advance, it is called as call in advance. When you are not receiving it, the shareholder fails to pay the money, then it is called as call in arrears. In our next class, we are going to see what is shares forfeited. We are going to see forfeited shares. Okay, forfeiture of shares. What do you mean by forfeiture of shares? Okay, when the shareholder fails to pay the money, then the company has the right to take back the shares it has issued to the shareholders. Now, how are you going to treat forfeiture of shares? Okay, the forfeited shares can be reissued to another shareholder. So, in the next class, in the following classes, we are going to see what is forfeiture of shares, what is reissue of the forfeiture of shares, what are the rules and regulations for reissue of shares. All this we are going to go through in the next class. Okay, thank you children.